What is going on, my fellow comic book readers, collectors, and enthusiasts alike? I am your host, Alt, here at Control-Alt-Defeat Comics. And today is Tuesday, which means a brand new top video. Tuesday Tops, that's what I'm calling this series. And not only is this the second video in my new Tuesday Tops series, but it's also going to be the first video, the premiere video, in a monthly series that I will be doing within these tops, which is going to be my most anticipated comics of the upcoming month. So today, we are going through my top 15 most anticipated comics of December 2025. I wanted to do top 10, but I just couldn't narrow it down just to 10, so you're getting top 15 today. And I am just letting you know, I am recording this as of Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025, so the day before New Comic Book Day, Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. So, just wanted to get that out there, and yeah, this is, as of right now, my most anticipated comics of this upcoming month. And this is a stacked month. We are going to start this off with The End 2099 number 1. This is a book written by Steve Orlando with artist Ibrahim Robertson, I do believe. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce their first name. I apologize. And colorist Andrew Dahlhaus. I've really liked a lot of the stories within the 2099 universe, and I don't think this is actually going to be the end of the 2099 universe. I think just like the Ultimate Universe, they're going to use this story to lead into some kind of new thing, rather it be a crossover event between the 2099 universe and the Ultimate Universe, or rather it be, all of the universes colliding in some kind of new Secret Wars event, or whatever the case may be. I have a feeling that this is not going to be the end, it's just going to be a new beginning. But either way, one thing that we definitely know for sure on this story is we are getting the premiere of a new character, Spider-Man 3099, and the introduction of the 3099 universe. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to go. I kind of dig the 3099 Spider-Man design and whatnot, so I am definitely hyped to give this one a read, which is why it is number 15 on my list. Moving on to number 14 on the list, we are going with Scarlet Witch, the Sorcerer Supreme, number 1. I guess this is kind of a bit of a spoiler if you haven't, been reading any of the solicitations or you haven't been looking into any of the stuff, but the end of One World Under Doom leads heavily into a few different stories, this being one of them. I forgot to mention when the previous book releases, but this releases December 31st, 2025, so the New Year's Eve of this year, and it is also written by Steve Orlando, this time artist Bernard Chang, and I'm not sure who the colorist is on this one. It does not list it, so I'm not sure if they are on both arts and colors, or if the editor Alana Smith is doing the coloring. Either way, though, this is coming right off the tail ends of One World Under Doom, which, without spoiling too much, does end with Doctor Doom no longer holding the title of Sorcerer Supreme. How that exactly comes about, I will leave that up to you to find out, but he is no longer the Sorcerer Supreme, and it has now gone to Wanda Maximoff. And I am really excited to see where we are going to go with Wanda as the Sorcerer Supreme going forward. So, yep, that is why that is number 14 on my list. A lot of pretty interesting looking variant covers on this one too. I'll try to flash some of those on screen, or at least the cover A's. I'm new to this whole thing, so excuse my poor editing skills on this video, but it's going to be a little bit of an experiment to see how well I can do this. So yeah, anyway, that is number 14. Moving on to number 13, which is a massive, massive testament to how many good books are releasing in December, because this is one of my favorite ongoings right now. And I talked about this in my first top 10 video. I talked about this series and how much I just adore this series. We are talking about Feral issue 19. This releases December 31st, 2025. And we've got, of course, Tony Flex writing, Tone Rodriguez on arts, Trish Forrester also on arts, with Brad Simpson doing colors. This book, story is phenomenal. The story is absolutely flawless from start to finish. It has just been such a fun story. Just this really interesting take on a like zombie apocalypse, zombie survival type story, but from the perspective of house cats surviving a very massive rabies outbreak. And it is just great. If you haven't read Feral, go grab, there's I think 3 trade paperbacks out right now, and the 4th will probably be coming out in a few months, I think, because the 3rd trade paperback, I think, leads us up to, like, issues... I'm not sure exactly, like 16, somewhere around there. But either way, pick up the trade paperbacks. It is absolutely worth it, or, you know, pick it up in single issues. This one actually has a really cool movie homage to Five Nights at Freddy's, actually, which is kind of interesting. That's a cool little homage cover there. Anyways, moving on to our number 12 on the list, we have got Transformers issue 27, releasing December 10th, 2025. This is, of course, Robert Kirkman on writing with Dan Mora on art. We've got Mike Spicer on colors. And this story has been phenomenal. I'm still feeling a little bit of the weight of Daniel Warren Johnson no longer being on this book, but I do feel like the past few issues have picked up, have taken that torch and ran with it where Daniel Warren Johnson left it off. So I think ultimately this has been a fantastic story, and I'm really excited to read this particular issue here. And yeah, that is my number 12 on the list. Moving on to number 11, another one within the Energon universe. This is Void Rivals. This is issue number 27. Wait, hold on. I have got I've got an error. Hang on. Excuse me. This is Void Rivals 25. Pardon me. This is Void Rivals number 25, releasing December 24th, so Christmas Eve 2025. And we have got Robert Kirkman on writing with artist Andre Bresson and I'm so bad at pronouncing these. Patricio Del Feech on colors. This story has been just phenomenal from start to finish. This starts the new Quintesson War arc. We kind of just finished our previous arc, and our main characters, the whole status quo has kind of shifted a little bit, and I'm really curious to see where we are gonna go from here. I do kind of dig the story moving forward, and I do feel like this one has me a little bit more hyped than Transformers, which is why it's just a little bit higher up on the list at number 11. But continuing to talk about Image Comics series in particular, well, Image Comics books, we have got Exquisite Corpses. This is issue number 8. This releases December 17th, 2025. Writer James Tynion IV with Michael Walsh on arts, and Adam Gorn also on arts. This book is killer, pun intended. This story is you take a bunch of serial killers hired by these secret underground families that secretly rule the United States, dropped in a town, tasked with killing each other, and the last one that survives gets the family that picked them essentially gets to run the town. And so far until now, a lot of these issues have kind of been very sort of similar. They've followed kind of I would say a similar sort of pattern or structure to the story. This one deviated from that in a really fun way, and it's got me really excited to see where things go from here. And whatnot. So that is another one that I'm very, very excited about. I'm obviously getting the cover C, the Michael Walsh collectible trading card variant, what's that called? Polybag and whatnot. So yeah, that's one I'm very hyped for, but that is my number 10. Moving on to my number 9, but not moving on from Image Comics here, we have got Everything Dead and Dying. This is issue number 4. This series is phenomenal. The last issue was great. Every issue of this has been getting consistently better and better, which is impressive because that first issue was amazing. I have said this is the best zombie book released since The Walking Dead, hands down. And depending on how this ends, especially if it gets a second volume or if it truly is just this 1 to 5 issue contained story, this might be better than The Walking Dead, at least to me. I know that's going to be controversial, but, don't shoot the messenger. That's just my opinion. You are more than welcome to disagree, and I fully welcome you to do so down in the comments below. Just me farming engagement at this point. Everything Dead and Dying. The story has been great. This is Tate Brombaugh, on writing with Jacob Phillips on art, colors by Pip Martin, and the story's just been great. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm just extremely excited to see where it continues to go from here. That was my number 9. So moving on to number 8, and finally moving away from Image Comics for a little bit here. Actually, I think that might have been our last Image comic on the list, which is surprising. But our number 8 on the list is going to go to Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum. This is issue 5. And this issue has got me incredibly hyped for a lot of reasons, including the introduction of the Kryptonite Man and the fact that it is, the culmination of this 5-issue story. This releases December 17th, 2025. It is a Black Label book by the creative team behind Ice Cream Man, W. Maxwell Prince, Martin Moranzo on art, and Chris O'Halloran on colors. It has been great. This whole story, start to finish, has been a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. The issue 3 did not have me as hyped for issue 4. Issue 4 has me incredibly hyped for issue 5. So I loved where issue 4 ended, and I'm really hoping that this story sticks the landing here with issue 5. I think I already mentioned that this releases December 17th, but in case I didn't, it does come out December 17th. It is a Black Label book, and I am incredibly excited for it, which is why it is at my number 8. But moving on here, we are going to go with number 7. This is another book that is spinning out of One World Under Doom. This is going to be The Will of Doom, issue number 1, another new number 1 from Marvel. And this releases December 24th, 2025, so Christmas Eve of this year. It is Chip Zdarsky on writing with Kafu on arts, and it is... I'm just really excited about it. I'm a huge Doctor Doom fan. For those who don't know, Doom is one of my favorite characters in Marvel Comics, and I've just always enjoyed Doctor Doom as a character. So, I really want to get this nullified Doctor Doom variant cover here. I don't even know who that variant cover is by. Who is that? Ryan Stegman cover there. But this is a story about the Will of Doom, the last will and testament of Doctor Doom, essentially. And the story of what happens after Doom, after the end of One World Under Doom. And I'm very excited to see where this story goes, which is why it is at my number 7. Moving on to number 6, and we are going to actually sort of be cheating a little bit here because we are talking about two different stories. We are talking about Ultimate Spider-Man number 23 and Ultimate Spider-Man number 20. Just Ultimate Spider-Man 23. I don't know why for some reason when I did my research on this, it said that Ultimate Spider-Man 24 was going to be releasing in December. It is not. So we're just talking about Ultimate Spider-Man 23, which in that case, maybe I should have rearranged the order on this list a little bit. If I had realized that 23 and 24 weren't releasing both in the same month, I probably would have put this a little further down the list. Regardless, it is at my number 6 spot, and we are keeping it there. This is Jonathan Hickman on writing with Marco Cicchiccio on art. We've also got David Messiaen on art with Matt Wilson on colors. And this story has been great. I'm enjoying a lot. I am not caught up on a lot of the Ultimate Universe. I'm working my way to getting caught up on the Ultimate Universe here. But it is slow but steady work, and I will get it caught up here. I think I already mentioned, but in case I didn't, this releases December 10th, 2025. It is 40 pages, and I'm really excited to see where this storyline goes. I still don't think this is the end. I don't care what anyone says. I don't think this is the end. But we will see, and the unknown factor of that to me does have me a little more hype about reading this just to see what happens in it. And that is why it is at number 6, excuse me. Going into the top 5 most anticipated comics for December 2025, we have got DC KO Night Fight number 2. The first issue of this was phenomenal. This is Batman being flung through different timelines and having to fight various versions of Robin who have become Batman. And the first issue was great. It was a really big gut punch. Writer Joshua Williamson, I cannot speak, with art by Dan Mora and colorist by Triona Farrell. This first issue was great. I'm really excited about the second issue. This actually releases tomorrow, December 3rd, 2025, and I cannot wait to read it. It is probably going to be on the top of my pull list. I am chomping at the bits to read this book, and that is why I've got it at number 5. But number 4 on this list is going to go to a Marvel book, and that is going to be Ultimate Endgame. This is issue number 1. This releases December 31st, 2025. Now, so far I've seen this release date change a few times over the course of the last couple months here. I'm really excited about this. I think this is the one that's going to have the big blind bag with some like various... it's got... this one's the one with the blind bag, and I'm just really, really excited about that. We have got Dennis Camp writing, Joshua Sharf on arts, penciling by Terry Dodson, inks by Rachel Dodson, and I'm just very, very excited about this. Again, this is one that I don't think is actually going to be the end of the Ultimate Universe, but the hype, the question, the curiosity about it it's got me interested enough to pick this book up, so that is why it is number 4 on my top 10, or on my top 15. Moving into the top 3, and I'm going to tell you right now, they are all absolute DC books. All 3 of them. And number 3 is going to go to Absolute Martian Manhunter. This is number 7. This is a return of this story after it has been on hiatus for quite a while. This releases December 24th, 2025. And the writer Dennis Camp, art by Javier Rodriguez. this story's phenomenal. I don't know if Javier Rodriguez is on the coloring or if it is another person, but whoever has done the colors on this story has knocked this out of the park. This has been one of the prettiest looking comics that I have read in a long, long time. And I cannot wait for this thing to come back. It is so hyped for me. The first 6 issues were so good. I've been waiting for this story to pick back up, and it is finally here, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this issue Christmas Eve. I actually won't be able to get it Christmas Eve because I will be out of state for holidays, but I cannot wait to get back in town the following week so I can pick it up and read it and get caught up, because this is gonna be a banger of a story, that is for sure. Number 2 on the list, though. This was a hard choice. And frankly, I could understand either way picking number 1 or number 2 for this particular story. But for me, it just barely misses the mark of hype that the last book does. But this is going to be Absolute Batman, issue number 15, releasing December 10th, 2025, with the writer Scott Snyder. The artist on this one is Jock. I don't know if Nick Dragotta is not on. He's on the cover art, but I'm not sure if... Yeah, it doesn't look like Nick Dragotta is going to be on art for this one. This is going to be Jock with Frank Martin on colors. And I am really excited about this just because of the introduction of the Absolute Joker. All of these covers, every single cover has to do with Absolute Joker. And they are all horrifying. And I love every second of it. This story has been a lot of fun. The last issue wrapped up the previous story arc with Bane perfectly. I loved everything about it, so I'm really excited to see where we go here with the introduction of our Joker story. However, I'm not quite as excited as I am about our number 1, and I'm sure you've guessed it already. This is Absolute Wonder Woman, issue 15. This releases December 24th, 2025, written by Kelly Thompson with artist Hayden Sherman and Jordi Belair on colors, which is the regular team back on it, I do believe. I think the previous couple of issues had a different creative team on the story, if memory serves here. But this is, I believe, a return to... Maybe not. Maybe this... I'm not sure. Either way, this is going to be the first meeting, the first team up of Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Batman. There are so many interesting covers for this story. It looks so good. And frankly, I'm just really excited to see where this universe goes now that we are getting our first crossover of these heroes together, essentially. The first time we are seeing any of these absolute heroes actually come together and unite in one way or another. And obviously, I have no idea if they're going to, like, duke it out a little bit at first, or if they're gonna, hit it off right off the end, or right off rip, I don't know, but I do know that the art, the covers all look phenomenal, and that the story itself is... I love Absolute Wonder Woman. It is my personal favorite of the Absolute line, and I think it has so much potential to just continue getting better and better. And now that we're finally getting a crossover with her and Batman, there's no way that this book is not going to be a phenomenal book. So yeah, that is it for my top 15 upcoming comics for December 2025. Feel free to, if you think I missed one, if you think there's something that's releasing this month that you think needs to be on my radar that's not, let me know down below. I'm always open to opinions, and I would love to chat about comics and find out what you think is the best upcoming comic for December of 2025. But with that being said, stay awesome out there. Make sure to read all of your comics, continue reading, continue collecting. Have yourselves a fantastic day. Control-Alt-Defeat Comics, signing out.